Hi, everybody. It's good to see you. I hope you're well. Why don't you pull up a chair and set a spell while we sit and talk about Kenny Wagner, a bank and train robber from Scott County, Virginia. And Kenny Wagner was born William Kenneth Wagner February 18, 1905, in Scott County, Virginia. At the age of 14, he left home to join a circus. When Prohibition hit, he began to make and sell that old moonshine. He was an imposing man at 6 foot 3 inches tall and 260 pounds. In 1925, he was arrested in Lucedale, Mississippi for stealing a watch. While waiting for trial, he beat the jailer and stole a horse and made a run for it. This started his outlaw career. A posse was formed and tracked Kenny to a shack in the woods, where he shot his way out, killing a deputy dead. He ran back to Scott County to the mountains. He met up with his family on the banks of the Holston River, close to Kingsport, Tennessee. He got into a standoff with 5 policemen, shooting 2 dead and wounding another. Kenny Wagner fled on horseback and then on foot. When he got to Waycross, Virginia, he surrendered to a storekeeper. He was set to trial in Sullivan County and sentenced to death. He staged an escape from the state prison and got away, where he ran to Mexico, becoming a notorious bank and train robber. Then he returned back to the United States. Kenny killed Will and Sam Carper in a barroom brawl and gave himself up to a female sheriff, Lily Barber, in Arkansas. She took over as sheriff when her husband was killed. Lily refused to try Kenny Wagner in court due to the law in Arkansas being, if he was found guilty, he would die. Instead, she just fell in love with him. Kenny was wanted in Mississippi, Tennessee, and Arkansas for murder. Because of his first murder taking place in Mississippi, he was taken there and tried. Kenny Wagner was found guilty in 1926 and sentenced to life imprisonment. He was set to serve it in the Parchman farm. Kenny planned to escape, but a jail informant told the guards and he was caught. Eventually, he became a trustee armed and allowed to train the Parchman bloodhounds. He would track down escapees alone and armed on horseback. In 1940, he successfully escaped the farm and headed back to Virginia near his home in Scott County. 3 short years later, he was caught and sent back to the Parchman farm. He became a trustee once again. In 1948, he walked off while on duty. His most famous escape was his final attempt. It involved a clever trick. He was made trustee yet again and attended the dogs at the prison once again. He decided that them old dogs would get him out of here once again. He trained those dogs to not ever follow him if he ran. He whipped the dogs if they did follow his scent. He put his plan into effect, and he got through the walls before it was discovered. And them dogs never followed him. Kenny ran to Wahalak, Mississippi, where he stayed for several years under the alias of Big Jim. But in 1956, he was placed on the FBI's most wanted list and recaptured. A jealous rival turned him into the law, and Kenny was staying with a girlfriend. This time, he would stay in jail until his death. Only a year or so later, March 9th, 1958. when Kenny fell dead of a heart attack. Folks, I hope you enjoyed this little short story about Kenny Wagner, an outlaw from Virginia, but he stole from the world, it seemed like, going all the way to Mexico and back. We appreciate you listening. We love you to pieces, and we'll see you next time.